Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is your Rational League. Before the Premier League week, Man City will get smashed at Anfield. And the Arsenal will smash West Ham, of course. But, however, Liverpool, rumored without Konate and Conor Bradley. We don't know if Trent is back or not. That is
Trent
actually.
is back.
Yeah, Trent's back.
Alisson is still out. Jota, we don't know. But Arsenal have a full team. And there is news about like Thomas Partey renewing his contract or whatever thing again. So it's good news or bad news for Arsenal. I actually don't know. Chelsea chance to be second, believe it or not. If you told me the game week 13, Chelsea can be second, I think I'll call you crazy before the start of the season. We'll talk about all of that, people. So hit that like button if you are here. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're watching this in the replay, hit that like button. What are the chances of Man City actually turning up against Liverpool? We looked at the lineup with every City fan that says that the lineup can be actually a strong one with Diaz back. They think Kevin De Bruyne is going to start. But I'm here with Rory, Tom, Dan is going to be here. Nobens couldn't join us, of course, on Friday. And this is NJ. All these guys' channels are in the description. As you guys know them now, they are absolutely famous now. Rory's here. It's every Monday and Friday. Tom, of course, you know Tom is going to be on the top 6 later or something like that. NJ?
No, Friday for me, Stu.
Friday? Oh, you're out Friday. You go out at 4 or something like that.
If people know with HUSAM likes to push the narrative that I'm an alcoholic, which I'm not. I just enjoy a drink.
Reasonable.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I'll take that. It's fine. I'll take that. It's fine. How's everyone doing? I'm a little bit under the weather, as people can tell.
I'm good. It's just nice to be relaxed.
Worried, anxious, but
why are you worried? What's there to play for?
Well,
what's the okay? Let me ask you something. What's the difference if City lose or draw or win? Who cares? What's gonna happen?
Well, I care. I just feel like if we lose, we might just end up staying in a spiral of just losing multiple games. And this game, I feel like all the games we've lost so far was due to our own, let's say stupidness. But now, if we lose, we'll probably just get battered. But if we don't, anyhow, it boosts our confidence heavily because Liverpool are obviously the best.
You still have hope? Anybody think that City can come back from this and win the league?
I wouldn't rule that out.
Yeah. I always back my team. Like we've shown to come back. Probably not from these types of situations, but if there's a team that can, why wouldn't it be us? So I feel like this game is important and holds a lot of weight on my mental state. But yeah.
For some reason, I don't see City coming back from this and winning the Premier League.
It's unlikely, but it's just
thank you.
City,
okay, you won't rule it out, but it's unlikely, right? It is unlikely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not crazy because I'm not crazy to think, okay, this situation is different than when they were dominating teams and losing to Wolves because of one counter attack. It's different than losing to Crystal Palace when they like peppered their goal and peppered their bar like 3-4 times. This is just different situation for Manchester City. When you watch Man City now, they aren't composed, they aren't in control. It's not like, and the mistakes that it keeps happening, but also the opposition is actually playing City's half. Like they get the ball, and even by the way, in the final game, I'm not sure if anybody from you guys watched it. It looked like Final can get a couple of passes and they're behind. It's all right. Like it's teams don't fear City. Is that fair to say? They don't have the aura like before.
Yeah. Well, for the Feyenoord game, I wouldn't really agree. Like we didn't completely dominate them, but we had more.
They did dominate until minute 75.
Yeah, and even the goals we conceded, they weren't really like played out well by them. It was just stupid defending and stupid mistakes.
Actually, only the first goal. Only the first goal.
I feel like all goals could have probably been
the third goal.
The third one was shocking, but yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's how
to be defending like that in the 89th minute when you've gone from 3-0 up to 3-2 and you're desperate for a win. Just sit back. Like the fact that they were defending on the halfway line with some insane line that was completely out of place. I was just that was just so un-City. Like that's the biggest thing at the moment. They just don't look like Man City.
Do we think they can go to Anfield and get something at all?
It would be very Premier League if they did.
It would be Premier League, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The team that no one expects to do anything because they're so badly out of form finally gets over this hoodoo where they haven't won with fans since 2001. That like
the last time they won.
We won obviously in 2021, but it was a lockdown. Like there were no fans, so yeah.
It's not my 30th.
But then again, I think looking forward to this game, if we was to sit deep and like just park the bus, which I feel like Guardiola's too proud to do so, but if we want to get a result, I think that's the only way we can, because if we try to dominate them on the ball, we'll get killed in midfield. But yeah,
I actually think we'll park the bus.
I think Pep is too proud to do that, but we'll see. Maybe he does.
No, I think he'll park the bus.
I don't even know if half the players know how to park the bus. Half these City. When was the last?
They did it against Arsenal. They did it against you, and
we did it against you lot. But then that was Arsenal with
kind. They did it against you though, Rory. They did it before.
Well, that was a couple of seasons ago, but I wouldn't even say that was parking the bus.
Yeah, it wasn't really.
It wasn't fully.
They just allowed us to have possession.
Yes, I think they would allow Liverpool that.
Yeah, that would be sensible. That would be sensible, because that's one of the biggest weaknesses at the moment. It's just like City's press just looks so uncoordinated, and Liverpool, of any team in the Premier League, if there's a team that's going to tear you apart in an uncoordinated press, it's Liverpool. So
I just feel like we are set up, but based off of, for lack of a better term, the City's weaknesses are where we hate teams. City are going through what we went through a couple of years ago, where a lot of their key players have physically aged out of their prime. Whereas right now we have probably, I'm not going to say the most physical, because I'm sure someone will say like another random team, but I think we've got one of the most physically imposing midfields going. If you play, for example, Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, it's three very physically powerful players in their own right, quick, strong, good in the air, a lot of pace and the ability to turn out of a press, which, considering City's press isn't great anyway, the fact that we have some of the best in the league so far this season at negating a press, if City try and impose their game onto us, it would be kind of exactly what we want to do. We want to get you in transition. We want to get you in moments where we can go on 3-on-3 onto that back line, because Gvardiol, so low on confidence at the minute, going up against who, in my opinion, is the best player in the world at the minute, in Mohamed Salah. Luis Diaz, if he decides he wants to turn up in a 1v1 battle, as he showed last season, can get the better of Kyle Walker, especially considering that he looks so slow this year.
This version of Kyle Walker.
I could get the better of Kyle Walker at the moment.
And Nunes is Nunes. He might cause you a load of problems. He might be fucking anonymous, but it's better than not up front. But I feel like it's just Pep's got to try something. He's got to try something different, because just going off the last 4, 5, 6 games, whatever, we could cause City so many problems just on your weaknesses. I mean,
if they play, okay, so the lineup, Tom, okay, so the expected lineup is Diaz, Akanji, Ake, Gvardiol, right? Matthias Nunes.
So Akanji's at right back.
Yes, Akanji is at right back. That's the expected lineup. Matthias Nunes, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Foden, Grealish, and Haaland up top. That is the predicted lineup for City. I think this lineup is not as weak as people like think. This is should be on paper strong lineup.
I think you're going off reputation there, though.
Yeah,
in the past, Kevin De Bruyne, before these hamstring injuries, was so terrifying this season. I know, like, he hasn't played as much because of the hamstring injury.
Yeah.
When he's been back, he's not looked like Kevin De Bruyne. Ilkay Gundogan a couple of years ago would have really scared me. This is Mr. Inevitable. Now, anyone's running by him like you wouldn't believe. So a lot of that, if they play Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, and Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes is effectively in a 1v3 midfield battle against my midfield.
But it's not about that. I think it's about Haaland being without Konate. And if they do what they did to Arsenal...
we don't know if Konate's not available. Like,
I don't think he's going to play, in my opinion.
Konate's the one that's up in the air. Apparently, people are saying that he could make Sunday. Apparently, his one really... like it's like Brighton again, where he went off injured, but he's got away with it. Even then, I'm calm. Joe Gomez. Ain't nobody like Joe Gomez.
You think Joe Gomez can play against Erling Haaland?
Considering he done it in Erling Haaland's very first season, kept a clean sheet, yes.
I'm not sure.
Also, going back to what you were saying about reputation of those City players, that back line, Akanji's looked off the pace recently. Diaz, I'm not even sure. Yeah, Ake, I think, has been injured. Diaz has been injured, so he'd be coming back in, potentially being rushed back in just to make sure that he could play. So it's like, yeah, I don't even think it's a fully
that defense has got one person who's been fit throughout this recent run, and he's been probably outside of the fringe players, the worst regular starter in Gvardiol with the amount of mistakes he's been making.
He's been overused. He's been overused.
But this is the point that we're making. So what you've got there is a defense that has one player who's had to play every minute of every game, and he's blowing out his arse right now, and three players who are coming back from various injuries. Diaz hasn't played since Tottenham in the Cup, which was at the very start of this losing run.
Yeah, 7 games ago.
Yep, Akanji. I can't remember the last time Akanji starts the game, but it certainly hasn't been in the last 2 or 3. Ake came on against Tottenham. That was the first time he played since the injury he got on international duty, I think, which was not the last one, the one before that. So he's been out for over a month. So that's 3 defenders who are massively lacking sharpness, massively lacking fitness, and one defender who is overplayed, oversharp, too tired. A goalkeeper who's low on confidence in Ederson. A midfield of Gundogan who not only is tired, but slow as fuck. Kevin De Bruyne, who is not fit. Matheus Nunes, who hasn't played centre mid for Man City in absolutely ages. And even then, I would look at it as a 1v3 battle of him up against Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, and either McAllister or Szoboszlai. Take your pick. And a front line of Grealish, who has had various injuries this season. Don't think he's 100%. Foden, who has been massively out of form, and I think he's been injured for a little bit. And Erling Haaland, who's fit. So out of that entire lineup, I think they have 3 fit players. Nunes, Gvardiol, and Haaland. And Gvardiol's blown out his arse. And then you compare that to us. We've got injuries. Obviously, Konate might miss the game. I don't think Alisson's making the game. I don't think Jota's making the game. I don't think Chiesa is making the game. Bradley's now definitely not going to make the game. So that, and obviously we'll go for the argument's sake that Konate is not making the game, but we can still put out a lineup of Tsimikas is not going to make the game either, probably. Robertson, who, yes, he's probably been the worst player out the starting lineup.
Tsimikas is out, right?
Yeah. Tsimikas is injured.
Yeah, but Liverpool don't have depth. Liverpool fans say they don't have depth. Fine.
See, I want to see.
No one said that.
I want to see Savio against Robertson. If that's for me, if City are going to do something in the game, Savio against Robertson is the key.
Savio's the kind of guy who Robertson deals with, though. Robertson's issue is if a guy runs off him. I think Savio wants to come short and receive the ball. If Savio wants to receive the ball short, we'll just have Curtis Jones shuttle over and to double up on him because we can afford to with the midfield. Robertson's issue is when he comes up against.
Yeah, Robertson's issue is not a one-on-one issue. Robertson's issue.
It's when he's sent back. It's when he's sent back
position. Yeah, it's positioning. Robertson's problem has always been the positioning where he stands on the pitch. But if you face Robertson one-on-one, you won't look Robertson in the eye and just dribble him like that. That doesn't happen often. Like I don't think Savio can do that. But and also even if Savio dribbles, like what is Savio gonna do? This guy. He doesn't have an end product at all. He looks good, but he just doesn't have anything in him. To be honest, at the current moment, he just dribbles. And also, there's Van Dijk on that side. I don't think there's Van Dijk on that side. Like, what is going to happen? Like, what do you think Savio is going to do, Rory?
Take it past Robertson and set up Haaland. I think we're underestimated. Even as bad as City have been,
good
they've
question.
still created a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, so if we are ruling out City, where we shouldn't be, like, I have some people. Okay, let me give HUSAM, for example, said predictions. It's not predictions. He's predicting a 4-1 win, as a lot of Liverpool fans expecting a thrashing, like a City are like just not gonna be there. I'm expecting a narrow 2-1 because I think Pep is not an idiot. By the way, I don't treat Pep as an idiot. People sometimes treat Pep as an idiot. I think he's going to know his weaknesses. He's learning, right? By the way, against Feyenoord, they dominated the game. If Gavardio doesn't make that mistake, they might not capitulate. The problem with City is the same against Brighton. When they conceded, they capitulated. They completely capitulated. If they are composed... Okay, but the problem is at the current moment, we kept saying it's Feyenoord, it's Bournemouth, it's this, it's that. City's players, as you said, their head is not in the game. They're making... Look at... Did you see Ederson coming out of the goal? It was like too late. What are you thinking? What is going to happen if the guy gets to the right side? Like, why did you come out that high? I think that the thing about Pep is that he's going to know that this is his chance. Pep should not go 11 points behind Liverpool. I think that would be a disaster for him because he know that the season might be over. If he's fifth, he can be fifth if Brighton win today, right? He can be fifth or sixth.
Fifth only. Yeah, we're gonna be fifth. But like Mo, I think what people forget is that if we miraculously manage to beat Liverpool, it's down to 5 points again. And I think it's just to get it done anyhow. And if it means to park the bus and be lucky and Haaland runs through and goal once and we score, then those 5 points with more than 20 games to go is possible to catch up. And I don't think that people really write off Man City. It's just with the injuries and all that. I feel like if the injuries weren't there, we would be in a different position.
You don't have as much injury. This is the thing. Sorry, Injury. You don't have as much injury. Okay, hold on. You don't have as much injuries as Liverpool. You just don't. At the current moment, you don't.
But Liverpool also has more depth than we have. Like the thing is, loads of people are saying that we don't have loads of people are saying that we have depth, but we don't. We started the season with 18 first team players, and out of these 18, at least 10 of them have already been injured. 2 of them long-term injuries with Rodri and Bob. 10 others in and out, never been fully fit in the squad. And you can see the results is us because we never had the right back four in the season, 2 back-to-back games, never had the right defenders. And if you look at now, Simpson Pusey had to play again because Ake could not complete a full 90 minutes. And I feel like even him coming on was sort of a reason why we ended up capitulating. And all these things can be sorted out in January. So if we was to miraculously win this weekend or just draw, that keeps us at, 8 points still? And I think they still have... I know that Liverpool still has a run of Spurs, Arsenal, and Chelsea in May, back-to-back games, with Champions League games in between probably. So we just have to get a result. And obviously that's me backing my team as well. I don't think our season is over yet.
In the league? I think it will end.
In general.
I think it will end Sunday. I think the season will end Sunday, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
if Liverpool win.
Yeah, if Liverpool win.
I think it's the most likely. And for me, I don't see how City go to Anfield and win the game with this Liverpool form. Unless Konate doesn't play, Trent comes back rusty, and something crazy happened in the game.
I could see a 2-2 draw. I think Liverpool will win, but I could see... I remember, wasn't it like the exact same thing last season? Only the other way around, where everyone expected City to beat Liverpool. And
at Anfield,
Liverpool had loads of injuries and all sorts. And then Liverpool turned up and, if anything, actually deserved to win the game. You just never know what's going to get thrown out.
The thing is, Liverpool, City, Anfield always has a different thing because of Anfield. And Anfield is the best it's been since before COVID in terms of an atmosphere. That's including when we were going for, on our quad charge and last season when we were going for the league. This is the best it's been in terms of an atmosphere. The feeling in the football club right now couldn't be much higher. I don't think... I'm not like HUSAM. I don't think it's going to be 4-1. I've said 2-0. I really want to keep a clean sheet. I think the defence is high on confidence at the minute. Queevy Kelleher's playing like one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the minute with the performances he's putting in. You've got Virgil van Dijk, who's
he's better than Ederson. We know that.
Well, I wouldn't know. Your word's not mine.
On
Before anyone comes at me in the comments here, Mo's word's not mine.
He's better than Ederson.
Mo's word's not mine.
He's a better shot. He's always been a better shot stopper than Ederson. Ederson's biggest weakness is shot stopping, is goalkeeping.
I don't think
it's also losing his head.
It's concentration. Ederson's biggest weakness is concentration.
Okay.
It's as a goalkeeper, he's got all the skills. It's just the mentality side of it. But I think for us, you're looking at two sides of the spectrum, with us coming off the biggest results of the season so far, probably against Real Madrid, finally getting over that hoodoo, which has stuck with us since 2018. We haven't been able to beat them since 2018. City, obviously, they look horrendous. It would be very Premier League for City to win. I just think that we're going to get the job done. It's not going to be this monumental performance where we play City off the park because City are too good, and I think they'll bring their level up for the game. I was
going to ask this: Are we thinking that City can turn up this particular game?
I think you'll see. I think this will probably be City's best performance out of the last run of games. Yeah, but I just think we, as a makeup of a side, we are set up to punish City's weaknesses, whereas our weaknesses, I don't necessarily think City is set up to punish ours in the same way.
If City go for it, and I'll get Dan's opinion, if City go for it this game, I think they get smashed. Actually smashed. Like if they fall...
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
I just think it depends on whether or not Haaland and De Bruyne... Well, one, if De Bruyne starts, and two, what Haaland turns up. For me, Haaland's been getting a lot of opportunities. He's just hit the woodwork an awful lot at the moment.
Yeah.
He's getting really unlucky.
I agree.
And last season they were in every single time. I don't think City can be trusted defensively against this Liverpool side. I think Liverpool are guaranteed goals in this game. If Liverpool fail to score, I'll be so shocked. But I think it just is going to be on Haaland. Can he convert his chances? I don't know where the rest of City's goals come from this season, if it's not him, to be honest with you. I just don't see the quality in their forward line to be good enough in a game like this with their current form.
Yeah, I'm only looking at Pep, to be honest. I'm gonna judge Pep in this game. This is where Pep earns his money. The reason why, this is where you adapt. This is where you're not being stubborn. This is where you let go of your ego a little bit. This is where you change a little bit to save your season. If you go for it, try to press Liverpool 4-1-0 behind in the first 10, 15 minutes. I think at this time I'm going to say, bro, you lost your mind. You should go to Anfield, be composed a little bit, do what you did against Real Madrid by not pressing high, by not playing all that, every card in the first 5-10 minutes and press Liverpool. Liverpool have kept position no matter who the opposition are.
So you
try to play from the back.
Like Arteta?
Huh?
You think he should set his team up like Arteta?
He did it before, Dan. He did it before.
I think so.
Yes, Rory said he didn't do it, but my point about it, if he tries to go and press with 7 players or 6 players trying to dispossess Liverpool in their half, and they bypass that press, he's going to get smashed. His defense will not be able to stop these guys running at them. He needs to be a little bit in his half, let Haaland maybe press by himself, force to one side. Like I'm speaking tactically, force them to the left side, who has been a failure for Liverpool with Robertson going forward.
Yeah.
Make sure that the ball always go to Robertson on that left side. Don't go to the right side towards Salah. Isolate Salah. Don't let him get on the ball as easy. And be composed and defensive. The defensive structure be 2 banks of forwards.
But how does City do that though? Because the way you're describing it, that needs to be a very physical game. You need a very athletic midfield for that, and that's what City don't have. Because you need guys to make constant shuttle and runs from out to in and out to in, up and down constantly. The one thing City don't have, bar Matheus Nunes, is an athletic midfielder who can cover ground very well. So if you're
I don't agree with that.
Isolate it. I'm just going by what I've seen.
I'm talking about the experience. Okay, go ahead. But I'm talking about the experience of Gundogan. Positioning makes a big difference in the game. Gundogan, he doesn't have to. The problem is if he opens up, now you're asking Gundogan to be athletic, to run back and forth. When Liverpool bypass the press, you're asking Gundogan to bypass the press, to go back, right? But if they are in their half, if their positioning is right, you don't have to run as much. You don't have to do what you're saying. You don't have to be physical. All you have to do is close the angles of the passes. That's all you have to do.
But then how? I'm just trying to imagine this in my head. So I imagine that they'd set up in their 4-1-4-1 if they're going to sit in a mid-block type thing. The wingers would be in line with the more advanced midfielders. How do you stop the ball getting to Salah?
You have the double on him, Grealish and Gavardio on him.
Okay, so
why is the problem with that? I don't understand why is that so hard.
Because you've missed the point of if Grealish goes to drop onto Salah, then he's left Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the most creative players in the Premier League, entirely fucking free.
No, but you go double on him like Saka. You go double on him. Once Salah receives the ball, you go double for Salah back.
But that's the problem, though. If they go and do so, we will end up then just playing triangles on the right or triangles on the left between Jones.
Yeah,
Trent,
but you're not going to get the ball into the box, though. You're not going to get the ball into the box, so unless you want to be spamming crosses from like half field. If we was to double Salah, let's say on the right wing in front of our 18-yard box, and you pass the ball back to Trent, you have him pinging in balls with literally no guarantee of you. Exactly, Jota isn't even there to head the ball, so probably
I'd have Diaz in the box, and I'd have probably Szoboszlai in the box.
Is Diaz great in the air?
Diaz is actually quite good in the air.
You know the problem.
Yeah, but then if Ruben Diaz is back, it's another type of back line. I feel like he's our best defensive player. And like Mo said, if we sit deep, Pep probably has to put his ego to the side. Let us sit deep. And then obviously Haaland has to be that target man. And KDB, maybe if he turns up, we can definitely hurt you guys on the counter. Because I feel like there have been teams that have had chances against you on the counter, but just weren't able to finish off these chances. And then again, we haven't turned up like we used to, but I feel like it's a game where form goes out the window. So it's just me hoping for my team.
I don't think we're actually. I think if you go look at, I can't remember. I saw it on Twitter, so it might be wrong, and you might be right. But I saw on Twitter that we're conceding like an average of 0.4 xg,
0.5 when it's 0-0.
It's not even that. It's across the games on average, we're conceding like 0.5 or 0.6 xg from open play. The majority of the xg we concede comes from penalties because we give away fucking penalties now, or corners because we don't win the first header and then they get that. It's set pieces where the majority of the xg is created against us, whereas when it's open play and it's counter-attacks, bar Southampton, which was a counter-attack off our corner, which shouldn't happen, and a counter-attack where Virgil van Dijk has tried to backheel it for no reason, which against Manchester City won't happen. We're not getting caught on the counter-attack by many teams. A lot of the big chances we've given up have been through our own errors, which I'd like to hope aren't happening on Sunday in that game. And just go back on the other point, if City set up in a low block, I think that we are so much different to last year. I think it would have worked against us last season because we were very sort of rigid in terms of a positional setup where, you know, if you were the right winger, so Harvey Elliott played right wing when we played them at Anfield last year, the game was crying out for Elliott to drift in the middle, but he didn't because the positioning said he's not allowed. He's got to stay out wide. He can't drift in the middle. If he drifted in the middle, it would have given Núñez a chance to make these runs, Diaz a chance to make these runs, and have your best pass of the football available on the day, threading the through balls through. But that never happened because of the rigid position. Whereas Slot, he's more open to seeing rotations. I mean, against Real Madrid, we played 4 different formations. So if you were to set up an all block, first 15 minutes, you might cause problems. But then the one thing that we've got that we didn't have last year was a manager who can go like that, and all of a sudden we're playing something different. His in-game management and his tactical changes have been brilliant so far this season, Slot. And I just think if you turn it into an attack against defence game at Anfield, we'll break through eventually.
Yeah, obviously you will, City. But then again, we can still. I feel like we can still hit you guys on the counter, and if not, then the set pieces because you've conceded against Arsenal on set pieces, and you've conceded the goal we scored last season at your ground was from a set piece as well. So I don't think there's literally no chance of us scoring. And yes, you definitely. I believe you would definitely score
without
one.
Konate, I think there is a chance for them to score.
And that's what I was going to say again. Like, if
100%, because Southampton scored 2 against us, and we'd be playing a pretty similar way. So City could do that. I just look at it, and I'm going off the lineup that Mo said. Obviously, if Savio says he's got a bit more pace, but let's say you win the ball back off us. Argument's sake,
Rory. I think I'm with Rory now. Savio and Haaland.
Yeah, I think
I'm Rory now.
Yeah, Mo, I was even gonna like.
I was Rory now. I think about it again, Rory. You're right.
Thank you.
I
think Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna counter Mo's comment on Savio, anyways, because he has no end product, but he looks good. He is a threat, and he can beat his man, and he can create. Like, he has had a couple of assists and chances created, loads, but then Haaland has missed them. It's the only thing in his game is like the scoring of goals, which is missing. But if he puts it on the plate for Haaland, or
doesn't even have to put it on a plate, just have to put Haaland 1-on-1 with Gmaes or something. Because if it's on the counter attack, I thought about it more, and I'm wrong.
Exactly.
If it's on the counter attack and Savio go past Robertson, the ball is played behind, and Van Dijk has to shift. Now you're leaving Erling Haaland on Gmaes, who hasn't played consistently this season. Now Haaland has a chance of scoring a goal. 100%. I'm with you.
Yeah. And with Gomez coming in, the sharpness might not be there.
It changes, Tom. It changes. But I don't think, based on the images and the video that HUSAM shared, I don't think he's fit.
Exactly.
Like, it would be, Tom, I'll be amazed if this guy is fit to play Manchester City after limping heavily.
I'd be surprised if he's fit, but
I want him to be fit because I want Liverpool to win. Right? I want City out of the title race finally. But yeah, we really want to.
I think the interesting part of the dynamic is that Liverpool are favourites. Liverpool will be expected to play their way on the front foot, and that could catch them out. And it does kind of remind me of that game at the Emirates when City beat us 4-1, where we were so confident about the way that we were playing football that season that we tried to play our game, and it caught us out again and again. Now, obviously, Liverpool at the moment are better than that Arsenal team were, I think, probably, because we had Nketiah up top and God knows what else going on. But still, I do just wonder about that dynamic if it ends up catching Liverpool out because they go for it a little too much.
Okay, can I ask you something, Rory and Dan? Do you think this affects Liverpool if they lose, or it's going to be a one-off like the first game?
I think it affects them.
It affects them, like, it has a domino effect, you think, in a Newcastle, Everton?
Well, I think that's the thing. Going into then Newcastle away, there's just suddenly, you're only 5 points clear of City again. Don't know who City's next game is after Liverpool. But yeah, so suddenly the pressure is back on again a little bit.
City play Forest at home after.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, to be honest. I just think that this game, even if Liverpool get a draw, they're like, we'll move on.
A draw, I think Liverpool would be happy. Not happy with, but
but they'll be content.
Let me just be content. Yeah, they'll be content.
I'd be disappointed if it was a draw, I'll be honest, because we should be beaten.
Yeah, but then that's what you can always say. But with Manchester City still, so it's like
no. I said you should win every home game. I think if you want to win the league title, especially against your title rivals, you need to win your home game. That's what every year that we've missed out to is we haven't won that home game. We've drawn it, and it's come back to bite us. I want to win a home. The only game in recent memory which I wasn't like that with was last year because of the amount of injuries that we had. Where I thought, if we get out of this with a draw, because City are pretty much full strength and we've got 3 academy kids in the back line, I'd take that. But we are high on confidence. City are low on confidence. They've got loads of injuries to starters, and even those that are apparently going to play aren't necessarily 100% fit. We've got a mostly fit and firing squad. We're at home. We've just come off the back of the biggest result of the season so far. We should win that game. If we don't, I will be disappointed.
Everything points to a 3-0 win. Everything that Tom said points to a 3-0 win. Smashing City. I'll tell you the difference between City and Arsenal, for example. Arsenal don't get smashed. This team, they don't get smashed. This City team this season, the 4-0, coming back from a 3. I would say that coming back from a 3-0 is a smashing. Like Feyenoord coming back. City can get smashed. City can lose their head and get smashed by 3 goals. That is the difference. I don't think, and I think if you fall behind, to be honest, NJ, I don't think you actually come back at all. I don't think you do. You're gonna open up and you're gonna get punished more.
Yeah, it just depends how the game goes. I think I do agree with us probably either holding down to a tight game, which could result in a draw, or a tight game maybe resulting in us having a miraculous win or us just being smashed. But I feel like Liverpool is not going to go in all the way, because I've seen Arne Slot even say, yeah, he might reckon that Pep can pull out something from his sleeve because he knows that Pep is a genius of a manager. And that just shows for me that he has some sort of respect. And despite Liverpool being in flying form right now, they know Manchester City is there to turn their season around. I don't think our players are with the head completely gone. And I just think that's the narrative that the media's pushing at the moment. So I feel like we just have to somehow get a result. And if it means that we have to park the bus, if it means that we have to counter or score on a set piece, then that's what we'll have to do. And yes, our midfield is not comparable to theirs, but I feel like if Southampton can score, we can score as well.
I don't think you can. AK here is saying, Mo, did you notice how much the Liverpool players were enjoying playing with Madrid? Slot brought a level of calmness. I think they have gears to go up yet. I think Robertson said that in an interview, and he said that we changed formation. We still are learning. We aren't even playing at our best yet. We're learning things from Arne Slot.
Gravenberch said after the game, after the penalty save by Kelleher, we just played a big rondo for the last 30 minutes and enjoyed it. So
yeah, Robertson said the same.
A lot of our players are enjoying the style of football, and the confidence is sky high in the football club at the minute.
They're liking him more than Jurgen Klopp as well. He's better than Jurgen Klopp.
Well, let's not jump over. Yes, he needs to win some stuff first, but it's been much better start than I could have ever imagined. Much better. He's taken to Liverpool like a duck to water, Arne Slot, and
Klopp had a better start. Already.
Klopp didn't have a better start. Klopp had a worse team, so he couldn't have had a better start. But Klopp didn't have.
I thought Klopp had a better start of the season in 1920. You won 15, and you.
Oh no! I thought I'm meaning start. I'm meaning start to the job. Not only is this Arne Slot's first.
There's no manager that had this. Only Ange Postecoglou last season had similar start to this.
No, but Arne Slot's lasted longer than 10 games.
Yes,
Arne Slot has went further, and he's also factored in Champions League as well. I think I can't remember. I think it was Sky who posted Arne Slot's had the joint best ever start to a season for any manager in their first season.
He's the best manager ever. If he wins this, he's like similar to Mourinho when he came in 2000.
Well, the manager that he's tied with to the best start ever is Ancelotti in 09-10 at Chelsea, and that Chelsea team were a machine.
They were a machine. Yeah.
And he's also ironically tied with Gus Hiddink. Gus Hiddink also got 29. So like it's Slot, Hiddink, and Ancelotti, and then it's like I think it's another Chelsea manager after that. It's a lot of Chelsea in this list of the best.
It's got to be Mourinho. Mourinho's got to be high up on that list.
It might be Mourinho.
It's because most compared to other clubs, like an incoming Chelsea manager is more likely to inherit a very good team than most other managers because of the speed at which Chelsea sack managers, or used to sack managers at the very least. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that. But Mourinho even by the way, Mourinho inherited a team that was third in 03-04. Mm-hmm. People think that it was a team that was shit. No, it was third under Ranieri.
Wait, no, second, no?
Second or third?
Second, I think.
Second, even better. Even better.
Should have been the Champions League final that season as well.
It wasn't bad. So yeah. It's good segue to also John Bay is saying Arsenal fans are crazy. Are crazy. They said pressure is on Liverpool. Really, we can afford to lose the game. But can Arsenal afford to lose the game? Most likely Arsenal run will drop points before us.
Honestly, some Liverpool fans are really doing my fucking head in. You are allowed to talk about Liverpool without it being about Arsenal.
I saw your tweet.
They're fucking,
follow Rory on
mental.
Twitter. Follow Rory on Twitter. It's actually fun.
I can say that Liverpool losing compared to if they draw or win slightly increases the pressure on Liverpool without that having anything to do with Arsenal. Me saying that is not saying Arsenal aren't under pressure. Arsenal are under pressure every single game at the moment because if we drop points anywhere in the next month, we're probably out of it. So I'm not. There is pressure on Arsenal.
Is, Rory, I don't disagree with you, and you're caught in the crossfire because of them. I'm sure you know better than anyone. Why do Arsenal have all these weird tactical accounts that just tweet in big words? Because that's what rattled the majority of Liverpool fans. So there's these, like, I think one of them's called like Leg Rove on Twitter or something, who, regardless of the result, regardless of the performance, after every Liverpool game goes, and that's why they're going to fall off at the end of the season. That's why they're going to, and without any rhyme or reason, he just says it. And he's got, we beat Real Madrid 2-0, and he goes, yep, they're going to fall off. I saw enough today, and that's what's getting the fans, because you're going, why are you worried about us? We're 9 points. Focus on your own team.
No, because they're feeding off the energy that you guys. They're feeding off the energy that you guys, Liverpool fans, that you guys don't want the pressure. Arsenal fans are going with the narrative that Liverpool fans go with. Don't hide. You know what I'm talking about. Watch the chat now. When we say Liverpool are favorites, watch the chat. Leopard in the tree. We're not favorites. No pressure on us. We don't have depth. We are not this. We are not that. True. If we lose a player, we're shit. That's the reality.
This is the issue, right? This is the prime example of the issue. John Thomas said, you have to say that first. I don't have to preface every single opinion about Liverpool with Liverpool are way better than Arsenal. Liverpool are the favourites, and Liverpool have played way better than Arsenal this season, and all of their players are better, and Arsenal are close to Boston. I don't have to preface every opinion about Liverpool with an opinion about Arsenal just because I'm an Arsenal fan. That's not how it works. We don't have to talk about Arsenal to talk about Liverpool. It's mental. It's mental. I made a video. I made a video about Calafiori and Timber. It had nothing to do with Liverpool. I've got Liverpool fans in the comments talking about why I'm not talking about Konate and Van Dijk. Because it's a video. It's a video on an Arsenal channel about Timber and Calafiori. It's insane.
I like how as well we're asking you to talk about a centre back partnership when you're talking about your fullbacks.
Yeah. Fullbacks. Why didn't you mention Konate and Van Dijk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw this. I saw exactly what you're talking about. When Arsenal, after the Sporting Lisbon game, a lot of Arsenal fans tweeted about Saliba and Gabriel are back. They dominated. They did this. And then a lot of Liverpool fans are saying, yeah, but Konate and Van Dijk are better. Like, but we're bigging up our defenders. Arsenal fans are like, we're talking about our defenders. We never said anything about yours.
Made a video about.
But that goes both ways.
It does go both ways, but I made a video about
if you talk about Konate and Van Dijk, you have Arsenal fans saying about Saliba, and this is just
of course.
In the pan.
But it's everything. It's everywhere. I made a video about Kylian Mbappe struggling at Real Madrid and missing the penalty. The whole video was about Kylian Mbappe and nothing else. Oh, you're just talking about Kylian Mbappe being bad to discredit Liverpool. Why don't you talk about how Liverpool made him miss the penalty? It's like because the video is about Mbappe. It's honestly, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like Liverpool fans are losing their mind. Oh, not all Liverpool fans. Have to preface that because otherwise they'll get annoyed about that as well. Not all Liverpool fans, just some that want and then they want every single time you talk about anything to mention Liverpool and how good Liverpool are. But then if you make videos talking about how good Liverpool are, they go in the comments, stop talking about us. Stop talking about us and trying to put us under pressure. What? I can't win.
The joys of having no expectations at the start of the season. We can just have all our cake and eat it right now. Give it till December, and that give it till December, January. Then it becomes a problem.
I absolutely had this discussion the other day before we talk about Arsenal with HUSAM the other day on El Ahwa, and I still think that Liverpool don't have as much pressure as the rest.
But why? They are the ones that are getting chased. I feel like.
I can explain to you, Arne Slot, even if he gets an injury or two and he comes second from now on, the fan base will feel disappointed a little bit, but none of them will say that you failed expectations. If Arteta, and let me give you an example, if Arteta bring this back to 3-4 points, Arsenal will still have pressure. If Pep Guardiola comes third, 11, 12 points behind, people will say that you are Rodri FC. You couldn't replace Rodri. You can't play without Rodri. What are you going to do if Rodri decided to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona? That is what people are going
to... He's not going to Madrid, but yeah.
My point is, if you lose the league with that much point, I don't think Arne Slot has any... I think every time I'm watching a Liverpool player go in an interview, they're just enjoying it. They aren't feeling any pressure to win anything. They're enjoying being top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, because it's a new manager. They haven't signed anyone at all, by the way. Chiesa hasn't played. So there is no pressure on him. I believe that they aren't feeling any pressure. They are enjoying the ride, while the Arsenal have more expectations. City have more expectations. Chelsea have more expectations.
I feel like for us, we had more expectations. I think there's obviously going into the season, and with the season continuing, the expectations change because you have to adapt. And I feel like with our run of form currently and the injury with Rodri, not only Rodri, but just constantly players not being fit, in and out, playing only being at 80%, gives our expectations about to be like second. And that's all right. We saved our season. Maybe we win another trophy. It's just that people think, oh, what Pep has built, winning 4 Premier Leagues in the row is extremely tough. And it's evident because no one has ever done it. And at some point, we are going to fall off. If it's now, then that's the case. But at some point, it was going to happen. And it's basically not deniable that our season isn't expected to be a Premier League at the end of the season, an FA Cup and a Champions League, or maybe just be an FA Cup and we're second, or Champions League and we're fourth. And I think Liverpool still have the pressure because I think regardless of the manager coming in new, just the fact that it's turned out to be so good right now, and you're in a position of basically 11 points if we take the victory on Sunday, and is it 9 points to Arsenal?
Yeah,
those are 3 games, and considering Arsenal most definitely won't be perfect to the end of the season, Chelsea won't either. That is not bottling, but it's
a very strong position to be in.
Exactly. I don't think.
Let me ask you something.
What needs to be separated is Liverpool fan reaction to what would happen at the end of the season and rival fan reaction. If we were to fuck it up and Arsenal won the league title this year, and they made back that 9-point difference, any rival is fully entitled to call us bottlers. In the same way that back in 22-23, when Arsenal done pretty much the exact same thing with City, everyone called them bottlers. If they want to run with that, I'm fine with that. That rival fans are completely entitled to. The reaction from Liverpool fans to it, I feel, will be entirely dependent on the context of it. If we just all of a sudden turn shit, there'll be a lot of, well, how the fuck's that happened? Then that's poor. That if there's reasons like injuries, whatever, let's say Van Dijk goes down with a knee problem, and all of a sudden he's out for the season like Rodri is, there'll be a little bit more of a leeway from the fan base. I think context is important there. Context is irrelevant when it comes to judging your rivals, though, because you just want to laugh at them.
No, but even Arteta. No, but I disagree with you. But I'm going to bring it back to the 22-23 season. Even though Arsenal bottled it, after the season ended, every rational person in the world praised Arteta for being in that position from being 5th the season before, not the other way around. They praised Arteta for building a team that went on that run in the first half of the season, that they said, now you need to strengthen and get depth, because when you lost Saliba and Partey, you fell off, and then they went and got Rice and blah, blah, blah. We know what happened. I get what you're saying about bottling, but everyone will still praise Arne Slot like Arteta because you are in this position, because no one expected Arteta to freaking be first for 92% of the season. That is an achievement by itself. I know that people don't like this. Why you're glazing Arteta? Because he was fucking 5th. Because no one expected them to be ahead at all. No one expected Arne Slot. So I'm having the same energy, to be honest. Rivals will banter Liverpool.
It's hard to talk right now because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
But the rational thing is, a Slot is overachieving like Arteta did in 22-23. That's the reality. I refuse to think otherwise, to be honest. Giovanni here is saying, we are winning the league. Arsenal will do the guard of honor for us in game week 30.
That will be very pleasant. That will be very pleasant if we have it wrapped up by then.
Liverpool, to be honest.
Dream on.
Well, I am trying to think which Arsenal player would do Bernardo Silva and just not clap.
None.
Which Arsenal player hates us?
Arsenal are a very nice team. They're very nice people. The Arsenal
They've got the most red cards this season. They're a dirty team.
Oh,
dark art and all that.
Yeah, Gabriel.
I really think Arsenal are a very nice and
Oh
cool
no, I know.
team.
Raheem Sterling won't clap us. Raheem Sterling wouldn't clap us. If we asked him a guard on it, Sterling wouldn't clap us. Fuck that.
Havertz is the only guy that is not a nice guy, to be honest. Havertz is the bitter guy.
Havertz is a lovely guy.
What?
He's a lovely guy. What gives you that impression?
Havertz is not a lovely guy. I'm sorry. Havertz is a sore loser. Havertz is the bitter guy. He goes to injure people sometimes when his team is not doing well. And I've seen that.
One tackle against Newcastle away last year.
Inter. Against he literally was going for people's feet, people's legs. He was rattled. Bro, he was trying to absolutely go for heads.
That happened. What do you mean go for heads?
Kai Havertz is not a nice guy. I think maybe off the pitch. I don't know the guy off the pitch, so I will never say.
Yeah, I saw the pictures as well.
What does that have to do
him
with
and Odegaard? Him and Odegaard.
He's a loving husband and soon to be father. Delightful man.
Oh, Bernardo Silva. Okay. I don't know if Bruno Fernandes has kids or not. I don't know. I do watch Inter with different lens. 100% I do watch Inter, but I'll tell you what. He's still. Why is this picture? Is this Ollie Watkins in an Arsenal shirt? No, that's Alexis Sanchez.
No, Alexis Sanchez.
Ollie Watkins in an Arsenal shirt.
I thought that would be weird, but it's just the screen. I'm looking at the smallest screen. Talking about Arsenal, people. They're back. Absolutely back. They're going to smash West Ham on the weekend. Gabriel and Saliba back to their best. Odegaard is back. He's now playing at a level that I have not seen him play before, even after an injury. Gabriel and Saliba now playing very well. Calafiori and Timber. Everyone said Calafiori is shit. He's very good as a left back. Thomas Partey, again, very, very good. Martinelli scored. Yeah. What is the weakness?
Still an element of depth. That's like we saw. It's all good, well and good saying like Timber and Calafiori, we've looked excellent with them back, but both of them have suffered with on and off injuries this season. So there's an element of depth issue. Still think Martinelli potentially. I mean, he definitely plays a lot better when Calafiori is playing. So hopefully he can keep that up. And other than that, like in terms of our best starting 11, I don't think there is a weakness. I think our best starting 11 is capable of beating anyone. It's just about keeping them all fit and keeping them all firing.
Arteta found the solution. Big up NJ. Thank you for joining, guys. Make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, big up everyone.
Thank you, NJ, for joining.
Guys.
Appreciate you guys.
In a bit.
But nice lad. Arteta found the right solution for you. Defending with one-on-ones, pressing high, making teams look mediocre.
I haven't watched much of Arsenal. I didn't watch it against Sporting because I was watching the.
They were magnificent.
But I didn't watch it. When we say he's found the solution, are we saying the solution is the injured players being fit again?
No,
pretty much.
No.
We are.
No, because I think the signing of Calafiori was big.
That's not my thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm going off the basis that Arsenal were looking out of sorts in that run of games where they lost to Bournemouth, drew with Chelsea, etc. All them games in that run. Now they're looking back again. Didn't watch the Sporting game, so I might have missed this big thing. I'm not seeing any major tactical changes. I'm just seeing players that were injured coming back into the team and being better suited for the roles. I'm not necessarily saying that's finding the solution. I'm just saying that's what naturally happens when the better players come into the position.
He already had the solution.
Like a better team.
The pieces were just missing for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The problem was he bought Timber in last season to do what Timber is doing this season. He got an ACL injury. He bought Calafiori in, who's been on and off injured this season. He bought Marino in, who's been on and off injured this season. And obviously losing Odegaard was like the equivalent of City losing Rodri for us. But yeah, you can now see what was the vision that Arteta had, and it's working very well.
Rory, what's your thoughts on Odegaard being so integral to this team? Do you think Arteta has actually done a bad job in the fact that it's so important to have him fit that you can't seem to get it to work without him?
To an extent, yeah. I think when you have a player that has Ødegaard's ability, it's very difficult to replicate it. I think he bought Fabio Vieira hoping that that could be somewhere similar. Turned out it wasn't. Ethan Nwaneri is being nurtured to hopefully be that guy in the future. But yeah, it's one of those where when it works and Ødegaard's fit, then building the team around him is a great idea because everyone around him seems to elevate when he's on the pitch and he's firing. But like you said, if he gets injured, you know, I think a lot of people will look back at the period that Ødegaard was injured and say, could we have used Nwaneri more? Could we have gambled on him? I don't think Arteta ever had any plans of using Nwaneri that much. You know, I think the plan for Nwaneri is exactly what we're seeing now, which is coming on with 10, 15 minutes to go and making an impact, and it's working.
Are you disappointed in that then, that he didn't use Nwaneri in that period of time? Because he seems to have just gotten better and better with every game in terms of confidence in himself.
I sort of am, but then like we'll never know, right? But he could have started him in a couple of those intense games, and Nwaneri gets injured or struggles and his confidence gets knocked or whatever, and it massively stunts his development. We'll never know for sure. There were a couple of games that I felt were easy enough, I guess. Not there's no easy game, but like there were certain games that I thought he could have played, especially when Trossard was really struggling.
So like Shakhtar, for example, could Nwaneri started against Shakhtar with the circumstances and that, and even if it wasn't necessarily the greatest game, it wouldn't have damaged that much. Whereas I understand what you're saying, like starting him away at Chelsea, for example. I know Ødegaard was fit, but for argument's sake, or Inter, starting him away at Inter didn't really make sense. But I feel like it could be a case where I just think he's one of them rare youngsters. I remember at the start of the season when we were saying that he should be used as a squad option, and the man on the top left was going, no, you've got to buy someone else. We're seeing now how useful a squad option he is and what that means for the future of Arsenal. But I can't help but feel like he should have been given a platform more so, because it felt like I'd rather put a smaller square peg in the square hole than a round peg in the square hole and hope that it works.
Yeah,
I felt like trusting the youngsters should have just been back, especially because of the history of recent years at Arsenal, where Saka stepped up, and I know before he got injured and stuff, Emile Smith-Rowe was a key part in that. I feel like Arsenal should have just stuck with that with Nwaneri, because he does seem like a cut from a different cloth to most of them.
Yeah, I agree to an extent. The only thing when people use like Saka, Smith-Rowe, Martinelli is that we were in a very different place with very different expectations, and so you could afford to kind of gamble on throwing them out there, and worst case scenario, they showed heart and it wasn't good enough. Like now there's an expectation to win every game. That puts a different level of pressure on a 17-year-old. And at the time, when a lot of the players were getting stick because we were dropping points left, right, and centre, like you just don't know how a 17-year-old's going to deal with that. And like one example, because I don't really know if like Mikey Moore at Spurs, same age group as Nwaneri, got his first Premier League start before Nwaneri earlier this season and played bad. And it was when they lost to Palace.
Yeah.
And he's not been seen since. And supposedly, like they're saying he's had a virus for the last month and that it's going to take him time to recover. And that might be true, but it might not be. And it's like that rushing them in can have negative impacts. I don't know. Like we'll never know. It will always be something that we can look back on, and you know, it's a what if. But what we've got now, I'm very happy with, because Nwaneri's, I think he's featured in 6 of the last 7 games. And for me, if you're looking to the bench, kind of in any game state, he's someone that I'd bring on. If we're looking like 2-0 up against Forest, we were actually beginning to sit deeper. They were beginning to build up some momentum with 10 or 15 minutes to go. And you think, well, if you concede 1 here, it becomes a very kind of cagey game again. We brought Nwaneri on, and he lit up the game again. And suddenly it swung back in our favour. We went 3-0 up through him.
Sporting Lisbon, Rory. You had more position in the first half at 3-0 up.
Yeah.
Which is the difference, Tom. You said he doesn't change things tactically. It's what Rory said. he picks the moment to be on the front foot even when being up. He doesn't fall back. And that puts pressure.
He done that last year.
Yeah. The problem is, bro, I never doubted that Arsenal were magnificent in the second half of last year. They were amazing to watch. Tactically, he was absolutely spot on. Even the game against West Ham, he completely missed 5 big chances. That it could have been 3-0 Arsenal against West Ham before even West Ham scored the goal at the end. The problem is this season, he didn't do this when he was up, or even when he feels like the opposition has a little bit of momentum, even without the red cards. Yeah, against Sporting, you didn't watch the game. Arsenal were 2-0 up. And when he felt that Sporting tried to press them high, he left Odegaard high, and David Raya bypassed the press, and that pinned Sporting
right
back
there,
in.
Right there, Domo. Odegaard. This is what I was saying. When Arteta has a full strength team, the system works to perfection.
Yeah, but the problem is you cannot just rely on Odegaard. But that's the problem. You guys say youngster, right? I say if Arsenal lose the league because of the start in the beginning of the season, are we going to put it down to you didn't go and get a proper replacement for Odegaard when he's not fit or he gets injured, and you didn't trust the young, and you didn't trust the youngster, both them? Are we gonna, whatever reason he didn't trust Nwaneri as Rory, and Rory presented a very good case. Maybe he didn't want to throw the kid in the deep end, so maybe he should have went and got a replacement for Odegaard. Maybe someone that can play left or right or can play that position instead of trying to play Havertz, Trossard, and try to play everyone on earth in that position instead of Nwaneri. Are we gonna go at the end of the season and say, Arsenal, bang, you missed a chance because you couldn't find a replacement for Odegaard and you trust the youngster?
But
so that is my point.
If they had acted in the transfer window and bought someone in that was probably on a similar level to what Emil Smith-Rowe was, in terms of where he sat in that squad, that then closes the pathway for Nwaneri, who obviously has got a pathway there when Odegaard's fit. I think there's probably an element of not fully trusting him, like Tom was alluding to a little bit earlier, that he couldn't trust him to be there in the big games and run the show like Odegaard can. And also at the same time, I think there's an element of protection, because how many players have we seen come through at Nwaneri's age and get their playing careers basically hindered by the time they reach 27, 28? I mean, Arsenal have got Raheem Sterling on the books at the moment. He is literally one of those players that came through so young, was playing so much football. And for the last 2 seasons, about 26, 27, the guy's just been nowhere near the level he was and what he should have been.
Do you want my opinion then? I don't care about a path.
Yeah, but Arsenal do, because Arsenal have had it with Jack Wilshere as well.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you the difference. I don't care about his path, because if I'm an Arsenal fan, I don't care about Nwaneri breaking into the team at the age of 18 or 17. Who cares if he breaks into the team next season after they won the league this season?
But here's the reality. Trying to protect a £100 million asset potentially.
See, I'm not talking assets. I'm talking about the difference between Arsenal winning the league or not.
Yes, but at the end of the day, you cannot deny that football business has a massive impact now in the protection of players in the squad.
So you're saying that the football business could have prevented Arsenal from winning the league?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay, you're making my point. Making my point. Business before winning the league.
Yeah, but that will happen. Unfortunately, that will happen. But when we're talking about a guy who is good enough to have an impact off the bench, but potentially not have the full. If Arteta could fully trust him, it might have been a different story.
But there's a reason he didn't.
But Mo, the issue is this: with the logic that we should have made sure that there was a backup for Odegaard that's good enough to fill Odegaard's boots. By the way, we're talking about one of the best midfielders in the world at the moment.
Yes.
A, who was out there, I don't know. B, how much would they cost? 50, 60 million quid to bring in someone that offers?
Would they be happy with the role as well, where you are backup?
Guys, there are players that can do both jobs, left, right, can play in the wing, can play. There are players in the world that can do this job. It doesn't have to be the same one.
But even if we could go and get that player, you'd also say we need to go and find the same sort of player for Saliba. That's another 60 million quid. The same sort of player for Saka.
But you have Timber, Calafiori are adequate replacement for William Saliba and Gabriel. Calafiori and Timber are adequate replacement.
But I think they've come in as kind of like Tom said.
But they can play.
But then when Ben White is available, when Ben White is available, you've got that squad depth that you didn't have when Saliba got injured before in that area.
Yeah,
right?
so it's quality depth. Calafiori played in a back. Yes,
that Rob Holding was.
It's not the drop off from. I'm sorry, it's not the drop off from Odegaard to having Trossard in Odegaard's spot, or having 3 DMs or 3 midfielders without Odegaard. You have adequate depth. The only player that you don't have, the only 2 players you don't have adequate depth to, are Saka and Odegaard. However, even with Saka, I would argue that you have enough wingers, and you should have. Okay, Raheem Sterling was supposed to be the backup, right? So you bought on paper adequate backup to Saka. On paper, right? I don't like Sterling, but on paper, you don't have any adequate backup. You don't have any similar player that play the role of Odegaard on the team that can fill 2 positions or something, other than Nwaneri. That was Smith Rowe. That was Fabio Vieira. Now they're gone. Good or not my point. But you don't have at all. Same as Man City, by the way. They have 0 guy to play for Rodri. None. Zelsh. They have 1 DM.
Because it is tough when you're looking at a player that's going to, if he's fit, play basically all of your minutes. Like it's difficult to then go and find a player that's at the level that is of the ability to step in for Ødegaard, that is also willing to be a second choice player. Because if you're good enough to replace Ødegaard, you're good enough to start for most teams, and you'd rather do that than go to Arsenal and be, because no one knew Ødegaard was going to be out for 3 months. And if you were looking at it and you were looking at Ødegaard's history, his injury history, you go, well, I might never get a chance here. Whereas I could go to, I don't know, Chelsea or United or whoever and become a.
But Chelsea
player.
were able to attract players not without them knowing that they're going to start every game.
No, I don't think that's right, because I think Chelsea have done a very good job of recruiting the same level of player to have incredible squad competition, right? I think this is the Tottenham dilemma that they had for so long with Harry Kane. There just isn't someone, unless they're of like Victor Jansen's quality, that is happy to come and sit there, or a youngster who is willing to bide his time and wait for his opportunity because he believes he's good enough.
This is the problem we had with Salah for ages.
Yeah,
we've never had a good backup for Salah.
Foden treatment, I think, to be honest.
And if you do go, and if you, that's the thing. If you do go and get the youngster that's willing to wait, well, then that is basically Nwaneri. So it's
and Nwaneri has the benefit of being homegrown as well, because I don't want to get too into it, but Arsenal, if they're going to be competing in the Champions League, they need to have a minimum of 4 players trained at the club through the academy. They've got 2 because Martinelli qualifies. I think he joined when he was 18. So you got Martinelli and Saka. Losing Smith Rowe means you lost one. So you know more than me, but I think Nwaneri already hits that qualification point anyway. He can be registered. And therefore, Arsenal don't need to. They've got an extra player effectively to use in.
But they will still just register their under 21s to get around that.
Well, we've got even this season we've got Miles Lewis, Skelly, and Nwaneri, and
that's what they'll do.
But it's the added benefit of it. Where
Saliba might weirdly even count as well.
Yeah, someone said that in the chat. Yeah,
because he counts as homegrown. I think.
Oh, he
was here at 18. But yeah,
I don't know how it works with loans. He might be. I don't know if it counts if the loan was to a foreign league or not. Where like if you go, because he went back to France, didn't he? So I don't know if it like cuts off when he goes back to France. I don't know. He might be. In which case you only need 1, which therefore Nwaneri fits. But I just look at it,
guys.
Nwaneri flew.
I want
the opportunity he's had.
What are the chances, before we go on, guys? 4 likes away from 200 likes. We have about 600 people here. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new, Mo, you need to stop targeting Havertz. It's different. I'm not gaslighting. It's the other way. I don't like Havertz. That's different. I just don't like him. I just don't like the guy. I think he's a shit house on the pitch, similar to Emi Martinez. Yeah, I just don't like these guys.
Don't compare him to Emi Martinez.
No, he's so much worse. He's so much worse, Mo.
Emi Martinez is like level 10 and Havertz is level 7. Is that
no,
right?
I think opposite way round.
What?
He's a bloody Chelsea fan.
Do you know what it is?
What does Havertz have to do?
Emi Martinez is definitely
Emi Martinez.
Emi Martinez is 10 out of 10.
I don't know if Havertz isn't so much a shit house. I just think Havertz just always came across a little bit cowardly for me, that he'd duck out of the challenge but then leave a foot in or something like that. And I saw it so many times.
I said that, Dan, and then they say, no, you're targeting him. No, I see it.
No, that's not targeting him. That's just Havertz's game, isn't it? Because physically he doesn't have it about him to sort of ruffle up a defender like a Diego Costa would have done. So Havertz has to go about it in a different manner.
You're right.
What Diego Costa used to do.
Emi Martinez and
he's a shit house. And Diego Costa was labeled as a dirty player.
But Havertz doesn't do that. Havertz wouldn't like deliberately tread on a player's foot or something.
No, he would, Rory. He would.
That's what you don't see because you're an Arsenal fan.
He gets his arms out for headers, but I think that's just because
I've seen right. So I think Havertz.
Oh, Rory, you're turning a blind eye on Havertz, Rory.
Not at all.
You are, Rory. You are. Come on. You can see.
All I know is last year, I remember Arsenal fans being the biggest pushers for this thing of Harry Kane should be getting sent off when he backs into the defender when they jump for a header. And then last year, Kai Havertz did it twice on Van Dijk.
I think that should be a rule that players get sent off for that. But
yeah, 100%. I do as well. By the way, that's I agree.
This tiers of shithouse that you are either a shithouse and you own it, which is Emi Martinez, Diego Costa. Those fuckers who thrive off it, where he's like. Emi Martinez knows he's a shithouse, embraces the fact he's a shithouse. Neil Mopai knows he's a shithouse, embraces the fact he's a shithouse. And then you get the ones who are a shithouse, but go about it in a sly, sneaky way.
Yeah,
Bernardo Silva,
I wouldn't say
Bruno
Emi
Fernandes,
Martinez is
Kai
like dirty. Yeah.
It's more showmanship with Emi Martinez than anything.
You know what? The two dirtiest players, I think, in the league are Lisandro Martinez and Romero. Yeah. Both. They leave a foot.
But again, it's different weight. Emi
Martinez is a shit house, right?
No, I mean, Lisandro Martinez.
There is another guy that I hate, and I think he injures people. I don't want to accuse the guy, but I think he doesn't know exactly what he's gonna do. It's Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford goes into tackles knowing that he's making a high.
I think he's just so reckless in thought that he just doesn't understand the consequence of what he's actually
really doing. You're going to tell me a professional footballer that doesn't know?
I just think he's
not on the tackle.
Yeah, I agree with
the guy who grab the ball and go on the floor and do all that tongue wagging stuff.
No.
Like that's where Pickford's the shit. And I'm saying this after the injured fucking Van Dijk. Pickford.
He knew exactly what he was doing to Van Dijk. He knew exactly what he was doing to Van Dijk.
I don't think he did.
I just think he launched himself and hoped for the best.
He just tried to go, fuck it, have it. He wasn't going right.
You don't go with your foot as a goalkeeper. No, I think no.
But he didn't connect.
If you're like you're a Pickford and you're rash and you're reckless and you just love smashing the ball and like he'd be the type of kid that if the pitch was like covered in mud, he'd be sliding all over it. Like you can just tell the type of player that he is. Like, and that's exactly what happened.
I'm gonna tell you what. I was that guy, so I know when a player leaves a stud. I swear to God, I was called in the league here for years. The guy that does the dark art. People are scared when I go into a tackle or something because I used to do that. Just because I knew this. I learned this from a Moroccan teammate back when I was 16 years old. A guy was literally amazing in how you roll, how you win a free kick, how you leave a foot up, how you go down, even at fouls, and leave the stud up so the opposition will hit your studs instead of them walking away, stuff like this. So when I'm watching it, I know exactly what a player does. I know when Lisandro Martinez goes into a tackle and leaves his foot out, he does that.
Martinez,
I know when Romero leaned on Semenyo's foot last season and tried to roll his knee. I know exactly what you're doing. You just didn't think about it at that moment, and I don't think that Kai Havertz does this intentionally, but I agree with that. He leaves his body, he leaves his ass out when he's jumping, hoping that the opposition will hit and fall or something like this. I know Harry Kane does the same. They know exactly what they're doing. They're professional footballers. I know, Rory, you won't admit it, but once he leaves your club, in the future, you will see it.
No, you can see it when he's at your club, Rory, because I saw it when he was at my club.
Marco Materazzi for us.
I don't think he does it much, though. That's the only
thing. I'll give you the one to look out for. Here's the one to look out for, right? Here's the one to look out for with Havertz. He doesn't win the ball aerially, right? He keeps losing it in a game. Someone's got the better of him. What he will eventually do is instead of like challenging upwards for the ball, he will just run and put an elbow into the guy, like whoever the defender is. Look out for that one because At Chelsea, I saw that all the time. He would get frustrated and then he would lead with an elbow into the next like header or duel to try and win it.
Wow.
And because he's tall, it looks natural in terms.
It looks natural. Yes, Tom. It looks natural.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It is natural. He's just.
You're going to give him the benefit. Of the doubt.
You gotta love Rory. He's defending it. You love Rory. But we know one thing: he's better than Victor Gyökeres as a centre forward. That is what we know after the last game. What are the chances of Arsenal dropping points against West Ham, Rory?
Slim. I would have thought slim. I mean, we beat them 6-0 at their ground last season. We've hit a groove. As far as I'm aware, everyone from the last game is fit. I know, Gabriel went off with a minor.
Hang on. Tom, what are you doing with your arm?
What? Doing that?
Oh, yeah, no. I was going to say,
what is this?
Oh my gosh.
Just a bit.
Chat, honestly, rewind it 20 seconds. Rewind it 20 seconds and clip it. Rewind it 20 seconds and clip that, chat. Come on.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure when I'm tapping my hands here that I'll do it on screen so people know. Look you now.
But yeah, no, I think as Gabriel had a minor knock, but I think he's fine. Like, he was sat on the bench straight afterwards and was laughing and didn't have any ice on or anything. So yeah, I like some people saying that West Ham are back
Tom
now.
is saying they're gonna turn up against you.
But one game isn't form. Like their previous two games.
I'm not basing it off form. I'm not basing it off form. West Ham United turn up for one game a year, and it is a London derby against one of either Tottenham, Arsenal, or Chelsea at the London Stadium. They will put in their best performance. They can't be against Chelsea this season because they've already got that one out the way. So it's going to be between either Arsenal or Tottenham, and they haven't played Tottenham yet, and they haven't played Arsenal yet. They play Arsenal at the weekend. It could well be Spurs. I'm just not ruling it out because this is all West Ham live off, these London derbies at the London Stadium. That's it. And the fact of the matter is, it normally happens when there's a lot of pressure, and their manager's shit. Their style of play is shit. They beat Newcastle, whoop they fucking do. Newcastle have also been quite crap this year. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It probably won't happen. Arsenal should go and get the job done because West Ham are shit. But if it does happen, I'm not going to go, oh my God, who saw that coming? Because this is what West Ham do every year.
100%. If Arsenal drop any points, I would be absolutely on Arsenal's neck.
Even
Arsenal,
against,
bro, it's crazy.
Even against Newcastle, they beat them 2-0, but they conceded double the XG that they created in that game, and Newcastle just didn't punish them. If Newcastle, who kind of struggled to score this season anyway, can create that much, I think we will create an awful lot against them.
They won't turn up against you. They won't.
Manager's been banned from the touchline. They might.
He's not even on the touchline.
No,
that's good for them.
Is that from last game, or was he not on the touchline against Newcastle as well?
No, he got booked against Newcastle, which means he's got 3 bookings, so he's suspended. Touchline ban. So
I think this.
I don't even know if that makes much of a difference, but yeah, I think it should be a comfortable game. We win. The thing is, we have to win it. I mean, we have to win every game at the moment, but you win that on Saturday evening. And then all of the big team, literally every other big team plays on Sunday.
Yes.
So we can just kick back and enjoy Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What time do you play on Saturday? I don't know.
5:30. 5:30.
I'll have a pint over that one. And when that went 10 minutes in and Arsenal 2-0 up, I'll have a second pint. That'll be that.
We haven't lost in London. We haven't lost a game in London in 2024, I don't think. Like, we travel well in London. Evening kickoff's nice. I think we'll be fine.
I think you'll smash them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If only Dennis Bergkamp was available in this era, Rory. He would have loved it, all that London travelling.
It's a lost art. An Australian footy, our coach taught us how to do all the dirty little tricks. Studs in the foot before running to the ball. Etiquette.
VAR.
Do you guys know, back in the days, that used to be عادي, like that used to be like normal, like Roy Keane and everyone used to do this shit. And it used to be Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I remember he used to do this stuff, and it was just okay. It was
VAR ruined shit house, did he know? Because if you be a shit house and they just go down,
Mascherano used to do this shit, and it was just okay. Vieira was a little bit of that elk, but not much, but it's okay. Okay, Materazzi was different shit house, but it's different.
Martin Keown was.
Yeah.
Martin Keown was to be the guy as well, yeah.
Graham Souness played in a different era. Graham
by the way,
Souness
that
played in an era
wasn't
where
frowned
DBH on a
upon.
footballer was considered fine.
You know, that was looked at as like, okay. And I just, because now you look at these old games, and if any old game on TV or something, and I watch it, like, how the fuck did they get away with all this stuff? It should be like 10 red cards every game.
There's like one Graham Souness comment that goes around Twitter occasionally. And the third clip is Graham Souness getting tackled and then throwing a punch at the person who's tackled him to try and win the ball back.
Honestly, that side of the game died with Lee Catamol's retirement, didn't it?
It died with VAR. You can't even do spike shit out of it now.
And Joey Barton did that as well.
That Man City game is just quality in it, that Joey Barton bit.
Anyway, just the last
Joey Barton gets sent off, and then Bobby Zamora's in his ear, takes him on with you, and then just starts battering everyone, and no one else gets sent off.
Yeah, that's,
you know.
It was fun, to be honest. It was fun watching the game. The last thing is that Chelsea can be second then by the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
Title
Very big
contenders,
test.
Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a big test against Villa, because I think I saw yesterday they're like without a win in 7 or one win in 7, which is like ludicrous to consider where they are, and people are starting to call for Unai Emery's head. Rory said a couple of weeks ago, like, this is classic Unai.
It's classic Unai.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't heard. Oh, should Arsenal really have replaced Unai Emery with Arteta? I haven't seen one of those
for the last like month and a half, 2 months. Yeah.
They're actually winless in 7 games, as you said.
Yeah.
To be fair,
isn't it?
And you guys know that they lost 4 of them. It's not even draws. They lost more than they drew.
They got robbed on Wednesday because that's never a foul on the goalie. But
I didn't watch the highlights yet.
They scored with the final kick of the game.
And it got
I'm gonna go watch it.
Their form off the back.
But
of
I watched the Crystal Palace game, and it was just bad.
That's the thing. Dan. Their results after European games, and like Juve, they put Juve at home. They put a shift in to try and win that game, to score the winner and then have it disallowed. Like, yeah, I think Chelsea will win.
To be honest with you, Chelsea win this game, guys, and I think Aston Villa are 6 points behind you, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think you put them in the rearview mirror and you never look back.
I think if Chelsea are to beat Villa, I think that pretty much erases, not saying that they won't, but I think it pretty much erases Villa from the top 4 chase.
I think they're going to focus on the Cups and the Champions League and all the stuff.
Tottenham, Brighton, Arsenal, Chelsea, they're all in far better positions to have that fight than I would say that Villa are currently.
Arsenal, not with you in that.
Well, yeah, but if you look at the Premier League table, yeah, but hang on, Mo, I'm right now on points. Premier League table suggests that Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, and Spurs are probably in the battle for those 4 places from 3rd to 6th.
No, I disagree with you. At City, then.
Oh, maybe,
most likely City will be 5th.
Yeah, maybe.
At City, then.
To be fair,
most likely Brighton will smash Southampton today. Hopefully, because I like Brighton.
If you're including Tottenham, you've kind of also got to include Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Fulham, Newcastle.
No,
Tottenham and Nottingham Forest are not the same. Tottenham and Forest are not the same.
Yeah, I think
I'm just going by the points.
If we go by points, maybe then. If we go by points, you can probably go a lot.
So Liverpool won the title. Then it's done. Everyone is in top 4 race.
I didn't actually realize how tight it was. There's 5 points between 2nd and 10th.
Yeah, I think even lower than 10th is still quite close as well.
I mean, Man United are only 7 points off City. And United have been shit.
That's it. So, okay.
Nobody here thinks that Man United can get 4th or 5th. No. But
on points, Manchester City is 2nd, right?
Good to go.
Yeah. Man City
so I think from where Chelsea are to where Tottenham are, for me, is probably where I feel like those teams are maybe Manchester United and Amorim. We don't know what's going to happen there. But I think they're probably the ones that are able to push on throughout December and pick up enough points to be in similar positions after that sort of December run-in sort of finishes. And then we sort of to get an idea of what that final sort of Premier League table's going to look like.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to the runs. So like Arsenal have a really nice run in December where they don't leave London.
I actually think by the time we get to January
4th,
I actually think Arsenal will probably be 2nd and a lot closer to Liverpool than what they are now. I just think you've got a really good run. I think you've got players back. By the way, Chelsea's form, surprisingly, off the back of European games, considering it's not the same squad that plays, is horrific. Like it's really not very good this season.
Well, I always wonder, you know, a lot of the big top teams with top players, a lot of them actually speak about getting into a rhythm of playing twice a week. And I do actually wonder if for Chelsea players, not only like not playing, but not even being part of the matchday squad and going a week at a time, like you actually don't start building that momentum.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think there's something to be said about players playing twice a week. It doesn't have to be the same player playing for a month straight twice a week, but maybe Enzo Fernandez could play one game midweek, and then the next week Casado might play in the same sort of role, and just give them a little bit of an opportunity to get the rust out of their legs, or just freshen up for that game at the weekend. Because when it comes to Champions League football for Chelsea, hopefully next season, players will not be resting for 7 days if we're in the Champions League. It just won't be possible. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I definitely think there's an argument to be said.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What, Tom?
Konate's out for a month.
Konate? Oh, 6 weeks.
Damn.
There you go.
Ooh,
Oh, that's bad.
Ain't nobody like Joe Gomez.
Oh, I'm triple captain Haaland now.
Makes me
That's
feel
bad.
this way. Ain't nobody
that is a big
like
blow.
Joe Gomez.
That is a big blow.
Do you know what? That would piss me off as a Liverpool fan. The fact it was the last kick of the game and completely and utterly pointless from
And the kid that is an idiot Endrick is just absolutely
like battling for a ball he was never going to win. Which wasn't
it's garbage. It's garbage. Yeah.
What has he done, by the way? What is the injury?
He literally flew into diving into Konate's back.
It's an
MCL.
MCL. I think it's an
MCL.
MCL.
Really?
I hope it's first degree.
It's what Calafiori did. His most recent injury was
right.
MCL.
Who celebrated an injury? You guys in the chat? No one did. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think everyone just.
Well, there's this thing where if you actually even talk about an injury, then that's considered celebrating.
Yeah, but it affects the title race.
Again, at the end of that Liverpool game, I tweeted, if that Konate injury is serious, that's a nightmare for Liverpool. And someone replied to it, subtly celebrating a Liverpool injury. Disgusting. It's like, you're not allowed. Yeah, it's, people. Someone in chat did. Apparently, that's what he was talking about. That's what
I mean, I'm going to be entirely honest. You will not celebrate the player getting injured, but you will celebrate the benefit for your team.
Yeah, 100%.
Arsenal will look at that and go, it's a good thing Konate's out because Liverpool are weaker. In the same way that when Roger went down with an ACL, I went, City are weaker, that's good for us. I didn't go, oh, yes, I'm glad Rodri's fucked. I went, I'm glad City are weaker.
You can acknowledge the fact that it benefits your team without, doing cartwheels and taking your top off over it.
It's the source is I don't know.
Have you got no Conor Bradley for a month as well, or is that not?
Yeah, so there's no Conor Bradley for a month, so we're a little bit low on defensive depth at the minute.
Yeah, need Trent to stay fit.
The problem is you play a lot of games. Yeah. But the only good thing, the only good thing for Liverpool, to be honest, is that I think Liverpool are through into the second round as the top 8 at the Champions League, so they can absolutely start playing Kwanzaa there, or the youngsters are right back in restraint. They don't have to go full on.
The youngster right back is injured. The right back youngster's injured.
I thought you had another kid.
No.
That is bad news for you.
Bradley was the kid. The thing is, we need Tsimikas back, really. We need him to be back soon, hopefully. And then it'll be a case of Kwanzaa, Gomez, and Trent will be like this rotating thing where one game Gomez will be the centre back and Trent will be the right back. Then maybe it'll be Gomez going out to right back with Kwanzaa as the centre back type thing. We'll figure it out. But
it's a big test, to be honest, for Arne Slot. I hope he gets through this. To be honest, it's
a big test for Joe Gomez. But I back him. Big up Joe Gomez.
Reports coming out that Liverpool are still interested in Zubamendi. I think they'll be idiots to try Zubamendi again.
Yeah, he's not interested in Liverpool. So
if he wanted to go, he would go.
Gone.
However, I think Real Sociedad are not doing well, so he might think about it.
That's the belief that.
Oh, you think he's living with
one more
regret?
year.
He wants to. Do you guys still do regular job or just YouTube? I don't. This is my job. I don't know about the others.
He's got enough subscribers for this to be his regular job. Some of us don't.
Yeah. Nah. Well, TikTok's my job mainly. But
Rory is a YouTuber, TikToker. I don't know. Tom is a journalist.
If it was just YouTube, I'd be nowhere near. Nowhere near.
I'm a journalist technically, so you can have that one.
Yeah. And Dan is always on YouTube, so just stick that whatever, however you want.
Yeah, I don't know what you want to call the YouTube thing, but yeah, I've got other things on the side. Without going into them. I don't think we need to discuss private life.
All right. Okay.
Crypto billionaire.
I wish. I don't know if I'd be doing this. I'd own a football club.
Yeah. Investing in.
But big up everybody that is here. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. This was an amazing episode. I might do a birthday Q&A later at 8. Even though the Brighton game is on, I might want to watch that, to be honest. I'm thinking about it. But hit that like button before you go. Also, subscribe to all the guys. Huh? What?
Sorry, there's a comment that said Tom is a B-Tech Sarah Jane Smith. And
for fuck's sake.
That's the woman from Doctor Who, right? I think
so. I don't know. It's just I think I would be sex someone I don't know. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Guys, Rory today, 6:30 is gonna preview the game. We need to go and support Rory to keep him on YouTube. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will be live.
Guys, yes, he will be live. Thank you everyone that joined us. Tom is going out now. Dan, you already did the show, or are you doing something?
No, not this morning. If I've got time, I'll squeeze one in today. If not,
but he is on the Football Tennis at 6, Dan.
I am indeed.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I will see you guys, and I'll see you guys soon, later, tomorrow, something. I'm out of here, people.